Have you ever seen Star Wars? You know, there's a in Star Wars episode. It's some people think it's episode 2, but it's actually episode 4, 5. There's 5, where it's The Empire Strikes Back, and then Luke finds out that Darth Vader's his father. He's hanging off the piece there, and he chops off his arm, or not his arm, but part of his hand, and then he says, "By the way, Luke, I'm your father," which is kind of a dick move. Wouldn't you rather, instead of chopping off the kid's hand and say, "Hey, let's go out for some coffee, we'll talk," but I'm gonna chop off your hand, then tell you I'm your father? That is kind of a dick move, but. I'm not talking.
Asshole.
Definitely would be an asshole. But the whole point behind this is, at the end of the movie, Luke gets a replacement hand, and the android that's fixing on his hand, he's touching it and he's poking it, and the guy goes, "Oh yeah, I can feel that." And there's a man in real life who had his hand blown off. He was playing with some fireworks, and he blew off his left hand, and he had a prosthetic hand for some time, but they have been working on a way for you to, or for not you, but this man to feel actually what he's holding. Like I'm holding this cup, I can tell that it's cold and cylindrical and it's hard and everything like that. With most prosthetic limbs, you have to pay attention to what you're grabbing. Otherwise, because of the motors and everything, it could literally crush the object that it's holding if you're not paying attention. With this new hand that's come out, that they're working on, what it'll do is, you could, with this guy, he was blindfolded in the test, he could tell if the object was soft or hard, and it would give him feedback, physical feedback in the nerves, so you wouldn't accidentally crush something that shouldn't be crushed. Crystal, your thoughts?
Oh, this is a really interesting story, and with it being in the prototype phase, we're going to see a whole bunch more coming out of this. But as you said, that sensory feedback is a key element, for dexterity. And this guy was able to get the sensors implanted into the muscles and the nerves of his arm, which was the difference, between the one he had before. It just went by muscular movement.
Right.
And this one actually goes by nerves, little tiny nerves that are smaller than a hair.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to be able to discern shapes and firmness of objects while he's blindfolded, that's awesome.
Right.
I can imagine, we were talking about this before, about how there's a lot of more implications in this. I mean, people with nerve damage, like from diabetes, or not just amputees. So it's really exciting to see, that part of it's internal, but there's cording and all this other stuff that's going to have to be worked out. But I can see something happening in the really near future with this.
Oh yeah.
Very, very exciting.
Oh yes, absolutely. It just, the thing is though, I feel bad that the guy got his hand blown off, but when I was reading this, it's like, if I'd been a soldier who got his hand blown off, for being in combat, then I would say, yeah, he deserved this. But this guy, he's fucking around with a firework and blows his hand off. But then I thought to myself, either way, this man lost his hand, and he needed to have it replaced, and he was willing to volunteer for this procedure. So don't blame the man for being a screw up, but look at the positive side, that that this man is going to be getting back some sensory on this. Now it doesn't feel any temperature, but it's a step towards that. Kind of your thoughts?
Well, he didn't actually get to keep this. This was just a clinic. This is just a trial. And,
right.
What they want to do is I think that when I read the article, this other article, it says they want to get rid of the wires and have it be implanted electrodes, have it be all under the skin. And they said that they are like 5 to 6 years before clinical trials will be able to be done on this. And then the biggest unknown still is how much this might cost. But then again, given time and advancements with robotics and microchips and what we know, I'm hoping that by the time they actually can produce this and make it available to soldiers and just people who have nerve damage, that the cost will be minimal,
right?
And or maybe be something that would be covered by insurance. But
right.
Yeah, it's it's really amazing what they've done.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, you're right. This is just a prototype, so he doesn't get to keep it. He underwent a whole lot of surgery
yeah.
to get the implant stuff put in there. So, and I don't know if he gets to keep the implants, probably not, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of sucky, you know. It's like, all right, we're gonna do all the surgery on you. Well, now we're done testing you. Got to give us the surgery. You got to have more surgery to have that stuff removed, you know. Well, maybe, you know, it's a good thing, I guess. So I don't know. Any last thoughts on that?
Well,
No,
they just
they
need
just-
to, it's having to find out the long term, like you said, with the sensors implanted already, the long term implications. How how does this work over a prolonged period of time,
Mhm.
and with more than one person?
Right.
Before they can get something accurate. But for all of these, there's a whole lot of big time medical people that weighed in on this, and what a wonderful, wonderful thing that this was turning out to be. So
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely.